Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Please comment, subscribe, folks. Comment, subscribe, like the videos. Also, share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link to you down below. Has links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there, follow me across all my social media platforms, and talk to me because I'll talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Listen, folks, Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'll be talking Jets, okay? We're doing a live radio show right here on this channel. Call in. I take live callers. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. Now, with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about Joe Douglas sitting down, speaking to the media at the Combine, all right? He spoke to the media, and he said that he and the Jets have allowed Zach Wilson's agent to go out and seek a trade, okay? Listen, we're going to discuss this, okay? We're going to discuss this. He said quite a bit of things as well. He talked about Huff. He talked about other things. We're going to go through it all. But, you know, Joe Douglas sitting down with the media and saying some things, and we got to get into it. So, it starts here, okay? First, he's talking to the media. They asked him about the situation with Mecole Hardman. For those of you that may not remember, Mecole Hardman recently just went on the pivot, said some things about his time with the Jets and how much he didn't like it, so on and so forth, right? But one of the really hot buzz things that he said that was just all over the place was that he contacted the Chiefs at some points. He was still a Jet when he did this. He contacted the Chiefs and begged them to come get him because he was just so done with being a New York Jet. Now, that's tampering. That's tampering. The Jets actually did end up trading him to the Chiefs, I'm pretty sure unknowingly. They definitely didn't know that he had contacted the Chiefs. But that's tampering. And so when the media asked about that, with Joe Douglas, he said that, the words that Mecole Hardman said definitely resonated with him. So it seems like to this point that he may contact the NFL and they're probably going to push to have an investigation done about tampering. Now, if Mecole Hardman would have just kept his mouth closed and moved on with his life, this would not be happening. But now there's going to be some drama brought to his doorstep because he started to yapping. And that's fine with me, okay? That's fine with me. You run your mouth. You do the stuff that you were doing. At least that's what you said you were doing, okay? He's tried to walk it back, but you said that, Mecole. So it's looking like the tamper, charges may get ramped up from the Jets, and the NFL is going to get contacted. Now, he also talked about frustration. Woody Johnson came out earlier this offseason and talked about his frustration with this past season and the results and how things need to get better. You need to get better. And Joe Douglas also said that his frustration mirrors Woody Johnson's, of course, right? Wants to be better, wants to get better, wish that the last season was much better than it actually ended. And he just said, hey, we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to get better. We understand the positions that we must address, and we're going to attack them this offseason, okay? And he talked about the pressure. Of course, there's pressure. You're a New York Jets general manager. This is New York. Media's all over you, and he talked about that pressure being inherent and that they, definitely take that in and they do, whatever it takes to get things done, and they're going to fight and they're going to continue to push to take that next step. So They gotta get it together, man, because there's going to be a lot of options, free agency draft, and they've got to make sure that they have their I's dotted and their T's crossed so we can get rolling and get more talent into the building. He also spoke about Bryce Huff as well, which was kind of crazy. He says the Jets' plans as of now, okay, the Jets' plans as of now is to not franchise Bryce Huff. Whoa. And he says that he, will look to have productive discussions, productive talks with Bryce Huff in the future. They better be very careful about the situation with Huff, okay? Now, keep in mind, they have until March 5th to utilize that tag on Huff. That's when free agency officially starts, okay? Now, the tag for Huff would, have the Jets, eating $21.3 million. Okay, that's the tag number for Huff. So if you give him that, 21.3 right there. Okay. Now here's the deal. The New York Jets, of course, we just got rid of Laken Tomlinson. We've got some, the cap has gone up a little bit. So I think we're playing with like 18 million at this point. I believe that that's the number. It could go up. There's a lot of things that we could do, make some move, cut some guys. That's all. We'll see what happens, right? But you got to make sure that you can do whatever you can do to keep Bryce Huff in a New York Jets uniform. You cannot let him walk away. You can't let him walk away, especially for nothing, okay? You look at his production, 10.5 sacks, led the New York Jets in sacks, okay? The next guy after him, if you get rid of Bryce Huff, if you let him walk away, the next guy is Jermaine Johnson. Jermaine Johnson's a good player, Pro Bowler, right? But 7.5 sacks. After him, there's big question marks. The next guy is Will McDonald, and Will McDonald was used sparingly this year. He was deactivated, right, for a bunch of games. I think he only had 3 sacks this season. You're going to be asking for a major jump in year 2 with Super Bowl expectations. That's a lot of pressure to put on him. That's a lot of pressure to put on Will McDonald in year 2. He's going to have to jump out and have double-digit sacks, at least in the teens, to really have that type of production, to get the type of impact that you're losing with Huff. He's going to have to be that guy. And if he doesn't, you fall off of a cliff, especially pass rushing wise, because after Jermaine Johnson, who is a guy that can, hold the fort a bit. Again, 7.5 sacks. He's going to have to get more than that, but he's a great player, right? But after Will McDonald, there's nobody that you can look at that even really resonates as a pass rusher here. There's nobody, no like official guy that you can consider, hey, he's going to bend the edge and get up. No, nobody. Don't talk to me about John Franklin Myers. He's not really a pass rusher, and we've seen that before. Okay, so they've got to play it smart here with Huff. I'm thinking anywhere from 17 million to 19 million a season is probably going to keep you Bryce Huff. And that's what the New York Jets are going to have to do. So they got to get it done, man. And if you're not going to get a deal done with Huff, for the love of all that is good, please franchise tag and then trade him so at least you get some capital back. You can get a second rounder back for him, maybe a first rounder back for him, but get some type of capital back for Bryce Huff. Do not let him walk out the door and get nothing. That would be a catastrophic mistake by the New York Jets. Especially, again, we have Super Bowl expectations next year. The AFC has a litany of quarterbacks that get after, okay? I mean, we can talk about them all from Watson to Herbert to Josh Allen, but we all know this man, Patrick Mahomes, if you don't find some way to stop that man, good luck, okay? I didn't even mention Lamar Jackson, who's unbelievable. C.J. Stroud, who this guy, man, he's looking like he's really going to be a problem as the years continue to go on because he's coming out the gate looking like he's ready to go. He's making a lot of great plays for a young quarterback, okay? So I would really like to keep this 3-headed monster that we have, especially Will McDonald, continuing to get better and grow within the defensive system. So please, Joe Douglas, make sure you're careful and that you can get this done. All right. Now, talking about Zach Wilson, man, listen. This situation with Zach Wilson is it is what it is, right? Joe Douglas continued to take questions from the media, and they asked him about Zach Wilson. And he made it very clear. He said, listen, we're allowing Zach Wilson's agent to seek a trade. The Jets, here at the front office, we're allowing it to happen. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with this situation going forward. Because you start to wonder, what exactly is Zach Wilson's trade value? You hear around the NFL, I mean, ESPN just spoke with some NFL execs, and they said there is no trade value. No, they wouldn't give up anything for him. I think one guy said he would give up a week's stay at the Best Western or something for Zach Wilson. I mean, that's crazy. But basically, from everything we're hearing, like no one really around the NFL is a big fan of Zach Wilson. I know there's been a lot of talk about him going to the Rams, but even that, why would the Rams take him when the Rams have Mike LaFleur as their offensive coordinator? Well, Mike LaFleur no longer is here because he couldn't get anything out of Zach Wilson. That's why they switched their offensive coordinators, because they didn't feel like Mike LaFleur was doing enough to get Zach Wilson to that next level where he could be the New York Jets franchise quarterback. So why would Mike LaFleur want him with the Rams when he couldn't do anything with them the first time? You know, so, and again, a lot of people said that Mike LaFleur was not the problem. There's a lot of people saying that Zach Wilson has just always been the problem. So we'll see what happens going forward with Zach Wilson and see if, you know, if they actually seek a trade. I know in the past I floated out the idea. I felt like at one point that he was going to be here, you know, for maybe at least 2 more years. If he would sign a deal that would lower his cap number, get an extension, sit behind your hero for the next 2 years, and, you know, be that third string quarterback, soak up all the game, and then eventually, you know, get your chance to challenge maybe a younger quarterback or another guy to possibly be the New York Jets starting quarterback. So that was just an idea I floated out, okay? But we'll see what happens as we continue to go forward because, again, Joe Douglas has come out and said that they're giving his agent the chance to seek a trade. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. You folks have a good one. Peace.